Fáilte Rash, welcome back to Ireland. Amy, up for a sweet treat?
Oh, we're always up for a sweet treat. Yeah, and Edward has guaranteed us that it's calorie-free because it's Valentine's weekend.
Is it?
Yeah. Edward Hayden is here in the kitchen to make the ultimate crumble for Sunday dessert.
Yum.
So you're still feeling the sweetness of Valentine's weekend?
Absolutely. It has lingered. Certainly, it has lingered. And it should linger.
Did you get any cards? Did you get any new flowers?
Do you know what, Derek? I had to leave them in abeyance until after today because I was getting ready today. So my Sunday and part of Monday is going to be opening them all. So to the people of Ireland, thank you.
His people will be opening them.
There you have it, absolutely.
Now, OK, let's get into it.
Come here till I tell you. So that being said, this is a really delicious dessert. So it has all of those kind of sweet connotations. But also, I suppose, it has the whole element of nostalgia about it because crumble is one of those hearty desserts. So the crumble that I'm making is a kind of a two-pronged attack, if you like. So what I've done here is I've just taken some cooking apples and I've just peeled them just prior to starting the slot. And I'm now just literally cutting those into small little pieces, OK? Now, sometimes, no more than with a tart, making an apple tart, people listening this morning and watching maybe stew the apples before they put in. Others will slice them thinly. With the crumble, you don't necessarily have to cook them in advance. I just like to start them off on the stove top. So to that end, what I've done is I've just taken the apples, I've just diced those a little bit, and I'm going to pop those into the pan there, or a saucepan, with some sugar, and I'm going to also put in some water in there as well. And I'm just going to allow those to start cooking down. So a little bit of water now gone in there as well.
And that's caster sugar, is it?
That's caster sugar or granulated. It's not a deal breaker, to be honest with you. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the crumble topping. The gloves are going on. Yeah, the gloves are going on. Absolutely. Well, do you know what? It's just handy for pulling on and off the dirt when you're on the telly. At home, you don't necessarily need to. But here, what I've got is I've got my flour. So I've got about 200 grams, which is 7 ounces of flour. Into that, I'm going to put some brown sugar. Now, I'm using the brown sugar. If you go to your press and you just have caster or granulated, you can put that in. It's not going to be a deal breaker. So
Demerara, any of those sugars?
Now, I prefer the Demerara. It's funny that you mentioned that. I tend just to buy the muscovado sugar maybe at Christmas when I'm making the Christmas cake or the pudding, because it is that tightly packed, solidly packed sugar, Martin, it tends to kind of dry up a little bit. Yeah. So again, it doesn't have that longevity.
Look at you, very cultured.
What? No, it's only because my wife makes...
You know he knows his onions.
My wife makes the most amazing Christmas pudding, and so...
and the muscovado is great for that.
Yeah.
But the Demerara, I suppose, it just doesn't tend to clump together if you're not using it. So in there, I'm just going to put a little bit of butter or margarine as well. Also, you'll have seen me, I just put in a little hint of a tint of cinnamon in there as well. Now, people might decide to spice it up a little bit. They might decide to put in an extra little bit of nutmeg or ginger in there. So you can really be innovative with that as well. Also, what I'm doing is I'm literally just rubbing this to get it all mixed in together. Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of the crumble topping, what I've given you this morning is a recipe to which people can add or subtract things that they might like. So I suppose what I have here are the core elements, and then people at home might put in things like porridge oats. They might put in some nuts or seeds into it. Yeah, porridge oats are lovely into it as well. A spoon or two of porridge oats. They might put in nuts or seeds. I've said to you on the recipe, you could put in flaked almonds or you could put in some hazelnuts. Yeah. But again, you know, depending on what kind of a larder you have, if you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you can make it up to the weight. So there is that opportunity, I suppose, to kind of make it less homogenous than milk, if you like. So you can really tweak it and make it your own. And I suppose that's the invitation always with cooking, by and large. Now, there are a few of them that you need to be very specific with in terms of the baking and desserts. But by and large, there is that opportunity to make it your own when you're cooking at home.
Add in different bits and pieces.
Add in different bits and pieces. So that's exactly what I've done there. So now what I've got is I've got some hazelnuts. I'm just going to put in some hazelnuts in there as well because I have those, and just pop that in.
That'll add a nice crunch to it.
That'll add a really nice crunch. And of course, textural interest is very big in food at the minute. You know, that kind of whole different series of tastes and flavours. Now, back here over to my apples, you can see that they're just starting to render down really nicely. So at this stage then, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in some mixed berries in there as well. So fresh or frozen, and at this time of the year, I tend to use the frozen ones.
But that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I tend to, because do you know the way this time of the year, if you were to close your eyes, are you eating a strawberry? Are you eating a turnip? Is there a difference? Do you know, that sort of way? So the good strawberries are meant to be eaten in strawberry season. But again, I suppose the thing is we might want berries all year round. So the frozen ones work really well. And sometimes you can freeze your own as well. Those kind of really proficient foragers might still have some blackberries left in their freezer from the autumn period as well. But look, even already, that lovely colour that goes on to that at this stage.
And that's a low heat on that now.
That's a nice low heat of that. And I'm just going to turn it up for just a little second or two, and I'm going to use that in just a minute. Can I just take you back to this a little bit as well? Because if you're big into freezing, you know, there are some people that are very good at freezing, and they're what I call efficient freezers. Now, efficient freezers are people who take the stuff back out again. Because sometimes we tend to throw it in and we're going to use it.
Yeah.
And then it's like CSI at the bottom of the freezer 12 months later. Is this lasagna? But this works really well. And sometimes what I would have, actually, I just have a little bit down here. Sometimes now what I'd have is I'd have a little bit in a freezer bag. And then if you just had a little bit of stewed apple left over, if you had a few berries left over, some nights you just need a little sweet hit, you can just take it out and it works really nicely as well. So that is that with the crumble. Now, if I can take you back here, I'm just going to turn off the heat underneath that. I'm going to open my oven because they'll be ready to rock. So now what I'm going to do is you can use bowls, so oven-proof bowls or whatever it is that you want, or what I'm going to use is the cup. I'm going to serve them on a little cup and saucer, and I just think they work really nicely. As I said, you don't need to cook this fully. You can stew it down if you want, but you don't need to, because it is going to go back in the oven now for about 20 minutes, so you can have that lovely chunks. Now, look at the lovely colour of it, though. Isn't it the most gorgeous colour?
Would the cup break in the oven?
No, you need to get your oven-proof cups, okay? So this is not the time to be putting in Granny's china into the oven. But nice oven-proof cups. These are nice oven-proof cups, and they'll work really nicely. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just topping those up or mounting those with some of the lovely crumble topping right to the top, and those are going to go into the oven. 180, 350 or gas mark 4. You're going to pop those into the oven for about 20 minutes. Now, again, everything is cooked, isn't it? There's no challenge there. Around that, and then I'm going to just pop those out, and you'll just see them in the oven. They're just going to start protruding. All that lovely crimson coloured juices are going to start popping out through that as well. And then what I'm going to do, as I said to you, I just think it looks quirky, you know. And the final thing I will tell you, or one of the final things I will tell you when you're making these, do you know the way sometimes if you make the big dish of, I'm going to just pop it there. Hold on now for one moment, Derek. Hold fire. Hold fire, absolutely. Hold your wish, as they say in the country.
We're hungry. Oh, a bit of custard.
And I'm going to give you a little bit of custard on there as well. The drop of custard on there as well. So there is our lovely crumble. But what I was saying to you is I just think the individual ones are lovely, because when you take the big one out of the oven on the big tray, it does look beautiful, but then you take a spoon out of it and it looks a bit like a bit in a bucket. So I think the individual ones, particularly if you're entertaining, are lovely to do.
Oh my goodness, that's the nicest dessert I've ever tasted. This is a lovely hint of nostalgia in this.
It's a lovely hint. That'll bring you back to your childhood. And I suppose what I am saying to you is it's only now 11:15 in the morning. There's not a reason in the world why everybody watching this morning couldn't... Well, it's your brunch, but why everyone couldn't make that for their Sunday dinner today. So that is my invitation, my Valentine's invitation to the nation.
How easy it is. All right.
Will you be my Valentine?
Every day of the week. I'm everybody's Valentine. I am. Hell is open for all sinners.
I feel I should leave. Yeah, I think I will. After the break, Jessica Fox, also known as Nancy from Hollyoaks, will be joining us to look back on 2 decades on the soap, sharing all the twists, turns and unforgettable drama. Can I go to the wedding?